Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fluent English Podcast. I'm your host, and today we're going deep into one topic that literally every single one of you has asked me about at some point. Fluency. Not grammar, not vocabulary lists, not another app streak. Real, actual fluency. The kind where words come out of your mouth without you translating in your head first, without that awkward pause, without that fear before you speak. So grab your coffee, your tea, whatever you're drinking, sit back, and let's actually talk about this properly. Because I'm tired of surface-level advice videos that just say watch Netflix and you'll be fluent. That's not the full story, and today I want to give you the full story. Let's start with the real problem. Most people who struggle with English fluency are not struggling because they don't know English. That's the part that shocks people when I say it. If you've been studying English for 5, 7, 10 years, you already know thousands of words. You already know grammar rules that native speakers themselves couldn't explain if you asked them. So if you already know so much, why do you freeze up when you try to speak? Why does your mind go blank in a meeting, on a call, in an interview, or even just talking to a friend? The answer is this: you have knowledge, but you don't have access. Your brain has the information stored somewhere, but it hasn't built the neural pathway to retrieve that information quickly, under pressure, in real time. This is the single biggest misunderstanding in language learning. People think fluency is about knowing more. It's actually about accessing what you already know, faster, with less effort, almost automatically. And that is a completely different skill from studying grammar books. Think about it like this. Imagine you memorized every single rule of how to ride a bicycle. You know the physics of balance. You know how pedaling works. You know how brakes function. You could write an essay about bicycle mechanics. But if you've never actually sat on a bike and practiced falling, wobbling, adjusting, and riding, you will not be able to ride it. Not because you lack knowledge, but because riding a bike is a physical, automatic skill, not a knowledge-based skill. Speaking a language is exactly the same. It is a physical skill. Your tongue, your mouth muscles, your ears, and your brain's speed of processing all need training, just like muscles need training at the gym. This is why so many people who are excellent at reading and writing English still feel stuck and embarrassed when speaking. Because reading and writing are input and output skills done at your own pace. Speaking is real-time, live performance under pressure. And nobody trained for that specific skill. So now let's talk about why traditional methods fail so many learners. Most classrooms and most apps focus heavily on grammar rules and vocabulary memorization. You learn the past perfect tense. You learn 200 new words a month. You do fill-in-the-blank exercises. This builds what we call declarative knowledge, knowledge you can explain. But fluency requires procedural knowledge. Knowledge your body just does without thinking, the same way you don't think about how to walk or how to use your native language's grammar. Nobody in your home country thinks, okay, now I need subject, then verb, then object before they speak their mother tongue. It just flows. That flow is the goal, and grammar drills alone will never build that flow, no matter how many years you spend on them. The second huge problem is fear. Let's be honest and real for a second. A massive part of the fluency struggle isn't linguistic, it's psychological. Many learners have what I call the inner editor, a voice in your head that judges every sentence before you say it. It checks your grammar, corrects your accent, worries about what people will think, and by the time that inner editor finishes checking, the conversation has already moved on and you missed your moment to speak. This fear response actually shuts down the language processing part of your brain temporarily. This is backed by research in psycholinguistics. When anxiety is high, working memory capacity drops. And working memory is exactly what you need to hold a sentence together while you're constructing it in real time. So paradoxically, the more you worry about making mistakes, the more mistakes you'll actually make, because your brain is too busy managing fear to manage language. This is why people can often write perfect English in a text message, but completely fall apart the moment they need to speak live. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How do we actually fix this? I'm going to walk you through the real, research-backed methods that create genuine fluency, not shortcuts, not magic tricks, but methods that actually rewire how your brain handles English. Number 1, comprehensible input, and lots of it. This idea comes from linguist Stephen Krashen, and it remains one of the most solid, well-supported theories in language acquisition. The idea is simple. You acquire language not by studying it consciously, but by understanding messages that are slightly above your current level over and over again in large quantities. This means listening to English podcasts, watching shows, listening to audiobooks. But with one condition, you should understand around 80 to 90% of what's being said. Not everything, not nothing, but mostly. This is how children learn their first language, and it's how your brain naturally absorbs patterns, rhythm, and vocabulary without the exhausting feeling of studying. The key here is consistency and volume. 20 minutes a day of comprehensible input will do more for your fluency over 6 months than 3 hours of grammar textbook study. Number 2, shadowing. This is one of the most powerful and most underused techniques out there, used by top interpreters and language coaches. Shadowing means you listen to a native speaker, a podcast, a video, an audiobook, and you repeat what they're saying almost at the same time they're saying it, copying their rhythm, their intonation, their speed, their pronunciation, like a shadow following a person. You're not translating, you're not thinking about grammar, you're literally training your mouth muscles and your ear together at the same time. Do this for 10 to 15 minutes daily with short clips. And within weeks, you will notice your speaking rhythm becoming smoother and your pronunciation becoming clearer because you are training the physical, muscular side of speaking, not just the mental side. Number 3, think in English, not translate into English. This is a mindset shift more than a technique. Every time you see an object, try to think the English word directly instead of your native word first. When you want to say a sentence, try to build it directly in English instead of constructing it in your native language and then translating. This will feel slow and clumsy at first, and that is completely normal. But over time, this rewires your brain to have a direct English pathway instead of a translation pathway. And translation pathways are exactly what create that awkward delay when you speak. Number 4, speak before you feel ready. This is uncomfortable advice, but it's the truth. Waiting until you feel ready to speak is one of the biggest traps in language learning, because that feeling of readiness almost never comes just from studying alone. Fluency is built through speaking, making mistakes, getting corrected, and speaking again. Find conversation partners, language exchange apps, online tutors, or even talk to yourself out loud describing your day, your plans, your opinions. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is repetition under real communicative pressure, because that is the exact environment fluency is built in. Number 5, focus on high-frequency chunks, not individual words. Fluent speakers don't build sentences word by word. They use pre-built chunks of language. Phrases like, I was wondering if, it turns out that, the thing is, as far as I know. These chunks come out automatically as one unit instead of being constructed piece by piece. Instead of only memorizing individual vocabulary words, start collecting and practicing these natural phrase chunks, because this is genuinely how native speakers process language so quickly. They're not building from scratch every time. They're pulling from a library of ready-made phrases. Number 6, reduce your fear through controlled exposure. Since we talked about how fear shuts down your language processing, you need to gradually train your brain to feel safe while speaking English, similar to how someone overcomes a fear of public speaking through gradual practice. Start with low-pressure situations, talking to yourself, recording voice notes, speaking with a supportive tutor or friend, and slowly build up to higher-pressure situations like presentations or interviews. Each successful low-pressure conversation builds confidence and lowers your anxiety response for the next one. Now let's talk about consistency, because this is where most people fail, not because the methods don't work, but because they give up too early or they're inconsistent. Fluency is not built in a weekend. And it's not built through occasional bursts of motivation followed by weeks of nothing. Your brain needs regular, spaced exposure to build strong neural pathways. This is backed by research on spaced repetition and neuroplasticity. Short, frequent, consistent practice sessions build stronger long-term memory and stronger automatic skills than long, occasional cramming sessions. 15 to 30 minutes of focused practice every single day will outperform a 3-hour session once a week, every single time. So let's bring this all together into one clear picture. Fluency struggles are not about lacking intelligence or lacking effort. They come from a mismatch between the type of practice you're doing and the type of skill you're trying to build. If you want fluency, you need less grammar memorization and more comprehensible input. You need less silent studying and more active shadowing and speaking practice. You need less fear of mistakes and more low-pressure repeated exposure. And most importantly, you need consistency over intensity, small daily practice over occasional long sessions. Before we wrap up today's episode, here's your action plan, simple and clear. Every single day, listen to 15 to 20 minutes of English content that you mostly understand. Every day, shadow a short clip for 10 minutes. Try to think directly in English throughout your day instead of translating. Speak out loud daily, even if it's just to yourself, describing your thoughts and your day. And finally, be patient with yourself, because fluency is a skill built through repetition, not a fact memorized through study. That's it for today's episode of the Fluent English Podcast. If this episode genuinely helped you understand your fluency struggles differently, share it with someone who's on this same journey with you, because progress is so much easier when you're not doing it alone. Practice a little today, show up again tomorrow, and trust the process. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and keep speaking.